Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
It's time for Tuesday Night Live Chat with Brian S. Red and John Young. Welcome to Tuesday night here on DJNTV. I'm John Young. That's the one and only Brian S. Red.
Hello.
Tonight we're going to go and try to see how many people we can offend. Brian's already started tonight with his first video, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about our topic tonight. Oh, we've got a lot of stuff we're going to cover. A lot of stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let's actually our topic tonight we're going to be digging into the title was if I ran the zoo, or in this case DJ party. And what I wanted to talk about is and this we'll get to this is if we were going to be putting together the ultimate DJ socializing event, educational and socializing event. As many of you know, you saw just as the beginning, we're going to be doing a DJNTV event in Las Vegas, co-located as part of the Photo Booth Expo. For those of you who are Photo Booth Expo people or Photo Booth people, which obviously you're not going to watch our video, but for the Photo Booth people who are up there, excuse my language, bitching about DJs being there, here's the deal: we have our own room. Photo Booth people are on the other side. They don't have to see us, and they won't know that we're DJs unless we're going to be carrying our turntables with us. You know what I'm saying? So if you have someone from the photo booth industry is like, oh, dang, DJs are there, tell them to grow up. Seriously, grow the F up, if you know what I'm saying.
Territorial.
God, they're just being just whiny bastards. And you guys are there.
Wow, you're
right.
Wound up tonight, John. I like it.
It's just ticking a person off, because it's like, we're not doing anything besides truthfully extending the life of a show. Photo Booth Expo is a great show, but there's a life cycle of every show. And either you bring new things in to help the show continue to grow and expand, or they start to, attrition slowly kills them. This will happen. Every show, everything's had this happen. So by bringing in the DJ element, they're going to be able to continue to have the Photo Booth Expo as a successful show for a number more years. In 5 years, we're probably going to have to find someone else. We're going to have to probably, bring in, the chocolate fountain people, bring them back. I don't know. But to go in and try to bite the hand that in essence is helping to feed you is just completely asinine. So we'll get into that. That's the second thing. First off, for those of you who did not watch, Brian released a video within the last half hour talking about how the whole venue referral thing, talking about the kickback that happens, and sometimes some of the referrals are not genuine referrals. Right. Brian, first off, what brought that on today? I mean, this is a quick, short little video. Guys, go to BSR's YouTube channel. You can see it. There's been a couple hundred people already looked at it. I think it's just going crazy already in a half hour.
Yeah, it's doing well. And if you would be so kind to share it somewhere where you think it might be viewed, that would be nice of you.
I wonder if I can. I can actually.
I'd like to see something like this go viral, because I think it's something that we don't talk about. And I'd like to see not only DJs see this, but potential wedding clients to see a video like this. Whether they're getting married in the future or they're planning their event now, whatever the case might be. So what inspired it?
What
How did they
inspired
come up
it?
with this idea?
Yes.
The honest truth. I was in the tub and I just thought of it. Because
Okay,
I have this
come on now.
ritual. Like normally I'll get like bathed like late at night when everyone's asleep. I will soak in and I only do tubs because disabled people can't stand on slippery shower surfaces.
It doesn't work very well. Yeah.
So if you ever see a post on my Facebook page where I'm talking about daredevil showering when I'm like traveling to Vegas or to Europe or something, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what he's referring to.
It's daredevil showering because I'm afraid I'm going to slip and fall, and I have. But anyway, so I do have this ritual where I do an early soak on Tuesdays before we go on the air. It's just a thing I do. So not that anyone can smell me, but if you could, I smell lovely. And well, I do.
Smell-O-Vision, the new addition to DJNTV.
Now, John Young is so nice looking. I need to look as good as possible. So shave, lotion, all that.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
So anyhow, yeah, I was just kind of thinking about something to bring to the table that maybe no one has yet. And through this process of things I've been thinking about today, I thought, yeah, what a great topic. Because, I mean, if I'm looking for a referral for anything, if I get an honest referral, I really appreciate that. Whatever it might be, a car repair or work done on my home or a doctor. But if someone's doing it for their own monetary gain, like they have no interest in what's good for me, they only have interest in what's good for them, which is a monetary gain of a kickback, I don't feel like that's a quality referral at all.
Sure. Oh, and that makes perfect sense. And that, I mean, we see that line when we're doing our videos and we're doing review videos, and people are like, "Oh, you're." I just did this past weekend. I did a Gemini speaker one, and it's like, okay, so if you're looking for cheap and disposable, this is it. And I had some people who saw through and are basically like, so John, you're saying if it doesn't sound good or it doesn't sound good, the whatever. And it's like, I tried to be as fair and as honest with it as possible so the people can make the decision based on it, because it is it can make some noise. It can do this. And then I had someone say, wow, you're recommending Gemini. What kind of a crap person are you? It's like, did you listen to the video? Do you pay attention?
Yeah, I went through that with the American Audio ELS Go APT. I mean, people were like, well, does it sound good? I'm like, it's a $200 battery powered speaker. It's a utility speaker. That's what it is. It's a $200 speaker.
Yeah.
It's like they get to the point where, I'm completely, transparent on how I feel about things in the video. And yeah, I'm thinking it's amazing that you can buy a battery powered speaker that you can plug a microphone into and an MP3 player into for $200. I'm amazed by this, but I'm not replacing my mains with it. I'm making that crystal clear. And people want me to sell it to them and tell them something about it that isn't true, like how great it sounds. No, it doesn't sound great. It's a $200 battery powered speaker, but it works. And people just don't get it. And it's not like I'm hustling you or trying to tell you to buy something that isn't going to work for you. And I mean, there's a reason I'm using an LG Systems Now E5 Go. It's not because, it's not. It sounds great. I like how it sounds, and that's a personal thing. Do I get any kind of monetary gain for anyone buying a Maui's 5 Go? No, I'm not getting kickbacks for that. I just think it's cool, so I recommend it.
Yeah.
Do I have a relationship with LD? No, I have one with Adam Hall, the distributor here in the States, and that's simply because I got a voice, and I was looking for a speaker. And the referral actually came from Jeffrey Canal.
Yeah, our friend over there at Canal.
He said, I think this is the right one for you. Well, let me talk to the guys at Adam Hall. They probably love the exposure. Turns out it was perfect for me because it was a quality referral from a friend, and I was able to share it with everybody else. So,
that's how we brought that around there, right back. Quality referral.
Yeah, I brought it back around.
You did. That was a nice tie-in.
Yeah.
Nice time. Yeah, as we were talking a little bit before we went on, this is an area in which many of us struggle. Many of you struggle, and we'll be putting a tack in this in a bit. Is venues that we've worked at for years, places that we've worked at, people we've worked for, that all of a sudden it's gone. The referral is gone. And generally, what has happened? Yes, there's times where we've screwed up, and we have all made mistakes that have cost us a referral. We all have. It doesn't matter who we are. Many of the times, though, it's something that has happened. And I remember back in the day, there was a DJ company when we were multi. We did 80% of the events at the place, and then all of a sudden we had none. And it was because the other company came in and told the venue, they're like, "We'll do your holiday party for your people. We'll do it for you for free if you'll recommend us to your and we, this, that, and the other thing." So they ended up doing many of the weddings, and they did the big New Year's Eve event, which was a family event, and they did the holiday party for the staff, and they did it all. They did those things for free to get all the business. So there's things that can happen, and what stinks about that is that when it's not a level playing field. I don't mind if we're competing on quality of performance or quality of what we do. I'm cool with that. It's when it's like, well, I'm not a very good DJ, but I know how to write a check. That just is irksome.
Yeah, it's well, and if that's the way people want to do things, I mean, that's business. But on the other hand, if you're misleading the people you're referring the services to, that they're actually a good fit, then I think it's ethically just ugly. Yeah. I'm all about ethics. I mean, there's a reason that I'm broke right now, and it's not because I want to just do the cash grab. Mm-hmm. I could do the cash grab and I would be doing fine, but I've got a moral compass. There are certain things I will not do because ethically I just feel they're wrong. And for a wedding facility like that, and I get it. I mean, if a banquet manager's, making $700 a week, if they can all of a sudden increase their weekly income a few $100 by doing referrals, that's a good thing, especially cash money. But the level that they'd have to stoop to do it just concerns me.
Yeah, certainly does. Certainly does.
We had a situation here in Milwaukee a while back where and it made the news, and it may have been one of those things where you remember the thing?
Oh yeah, yep. Go ahead, please tell the story.
There was that fight. I think it was over a wireless microphone.
Yep.
At a venue, and turns out they were preferred vendors.
Yeah.
It wasn't just some DJ. So here I am trying to figure out why the hall's involved here. What does the hall have to do with anything? This is an independent contractor. Nope. Preferred vendor.
Yep, I'm on that short list.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let's jump into tonight's topic. Tonight I wanted to, for those of you who are Dr. Seuss fans, that's where the topic came. If the little guy who basically in the book was, if he were in charge of the zoo, if I ran the zoo and he was going through and all the animals and different things, and he was basically going through and creating that. And it's like, tonight what I want to do is I want to start off, we're going to start actually at the fun part of an event, a DJ gathering. Brian and I are going to be at the DJ meetup here, the DJ meetup, the mobile DJ meetup.com. Did I have it right? The mobile DJ. Yeah, .com. November, we will be there in Allentown. You guys can go out and check that out. There's still some tickets available for that. That's going to be kind of a cool little event. So that's a little on a smaller, more intimate level than what we'll be doing in February. But it's a neat thing to be able to just get there and hang out for a couple of days. So tonight I wanted to look at, Brian, if you and I were going to do something and put together what we envisioned as the DJ event that people would be like, that was just cool. And I want to start in the evening, and then let's work backwards into the day. So if we were going to be starting, I want to start in something in the evening where people have an experience where they would be like, wow. Typically at a DJ convention, there's a mixing contest going on over here, or there's just a DJ playing here and they're doing games or something.
Or a 90s rapper performing over there.
Yeah. Yes. There's been, as over the years, we'll look at Mobile Beat specifically for this part. They at one time had their All-Stars, which was basically DJs doing shtick for other DJs. And then they moved into some different, there were some different small competition things that they tried to get going. There was an awards show they were trying to do in the evening. They've had, they moved into performances from rappers. Warrant was there one year. Village People were there. Chubby Checker's been there. Yeah, there's been
AJ brought tons of people in.
Yeah, there've been a variety of different entertainment acts. Going over to DJ Expo, they have their welcome party, which is DJ spinning for DJs. They've had some big name people there. Promo Only used to have evening parties.
Pioneer did it. Everybody got involved.
So there've been a lot of things there.
Yeah.
If we were going to put something together, Brian, are any of these blueprints something that you think today would really resonate with the DJs, or is it just something where these people are so over some of those types of things?
Well, I think it depends. I think doing it just to do it sucks. If the opportunity arises where you have an artist who can come in and do a small set, I think that's great. But the overall structure of an evening event, I think there's a missed opportunity there. I always did think this. And I'll take you back. Do you remember at Atlantic City years ago, ADJ did their pizza party?
Pizza party, yep.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The pizza party was fun. That was Joe Fucini. That was Scott Davies who put that together. It's primarily Joe who came up with that idea. But it evolved from this other idea that we had. And I like our original idea better. The original idea was, and I don't know why no one's done this, but the original idea was a chill lounge. Dim lights, music at a low level, but cool music. And maybe you bring in a DJ who does this, chill music or whatever. But it's low volume. It's not a cranked up thing. Snacks, and tables to interact with others. So you go in and maybe there's big stuff furniture you sit in. You can talk to other DJs. You can share some secrets. And you can listen to some cool songs, but at a very low level. It was a chill lounge. Mm-hmm. I think that would be neat.
Yeah, it definitely would have been different than the pizza party. The pizza party.
The pizza party was a blast. I mean, we had 1,000 people at one of them with DJ Cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. It was the biggest event they had that year. And it was, we had Biz Marquee come in. I think Slick Rick came in. I was on stage with those guys. It was really fun. But it was just a bunch of people coming in, grabbing a slice, checking out a set, and that was it. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been much cooler to do the original concept, which would have been the chill lounge. You got to have the volume down. It cannot be cranked up. You got to be able to talk to people without raising your voice over the volume of the music. You could bring in a certain speaker company to provide that type of atmosphere, to showcase those speakers, and then you could bring in certain DJs who aren't the look at me DJs. They're just kind of playing background, but cool stuff, not low volume hype songs. Sure. Like really chill, cool stuff, not sleepy, and just have an event where you can go and you can have a drink, and maybe you can have a cocktail, maybe maybe it's soda, maybe some stuff's free, maybe some stuff's not. I don't know. I like it. It would be productive and constructive and fun and a nice place for everyone to meet.
And I think that's one of the big things at Expo, for one, that I feel I'm missing. And even in Las Vegas, I mean, there are some spots where you can sit at the Tropicana, but there isn't a lot of spots. And so we end up having to go have a overly priced cheeseburger at the American Burger Bar there, so we can sit and talk for a half an hour, what have you. And it's just, you just want to go and hang out and talk shop. Well, there really isn't a chill area per se anywhere. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the positives about going over to the Irish pub, is at least there $20 would last a little while compared to.
Well, it seems like we used to kind of have it, and it happened very organically for a while at the bistro bar at the Riv. Mm-hmm. It was a cool spot because you could go in. Everybody, it was kind of a meeting spot.
Yeah, it was. And the food was pretty decent.
You could talk to people and have a drink, and there were tables, kind of down below and up above, and the place was packed. Mm-hmm. when they took the takeover, which is my fault, I should never have done that goddamn thing. When they changed the DJ thing to the takeover and brought it to the Irish pub, it took the attention away from the bistro. And then I go into the bistro and it was so loud that I couldn't talk to anybody. And it was just somebody on stage going, "Hey, look at me, I'm playing now, it's my set."
Yeah.
And you couldn't have a conversation. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It didn't seem productive to me. It wasn't fun. Maybe I'm old, but I really would have preferred to just sat down with people and talk shop, or just whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't matter what. Talk about your kids. Just something other than just listening to someone's really loud set.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably one of my biggest complaints, pet peeves when it comes to DJ events, is that every one of them are so incredibly loud. And I'm not here to be blared. Yes, it's cool to see some DJs who are doing some really neat things, but I get over that in about that amount of time. I would much rather have that experience, that to be able to converse and talk and do things,
Yeah,
than play. And
I'm with you.
and that's that. I struggle with that when people are like, "Oh yeah, we want to have do this," and it, yeah. Really? Is that? And one question, I guess I want to throw this out to the chat room. For those of you who have been or haven't even been to a DJ convention or anything to that effect, is the draw of celebrities, a Vanilla Ice, a Biz Markie, these types of performers, is that appealing? Because I've met many of these guys, and I mean, they're just people. I mean, they've done some really neat things, but I mean, I haven't been seeing the, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. It doesn't excite me, I guess. Maybe that's my problem. And I'm just wondering if that is something that if I'm an oddball with that, or if people are like, yes, we love that type of thing. I don't know.
I think it was novel for me when I first saw it. And it was exciting that I was going to be able to see this, especially meet them. It was more intimate where I could meet them. I thought that was pretty amazing. But yeah, I mean, was there anybody at this show that was wow at Expo? Was there anyone there, like performing?
There were a couple of people who were doing a little here or there, like some of the denim.
Maybe I'm just jaded.
I don't think there was any really big names that were there.
Well, I go into the burger bar, right? And I'm so jaded. I know I am, because I go to the burger bar, and I'm having. I don't know if you were there with me that night or not.
No.
And I look, I'm like, "Oh, hey, Cubert, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it's Cubert. I mean, that should be a big deal to some people, but I know Cubert,
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing when I was I was talking to Jeffrey at Expo. I was trying to get his attention because I had a customer for him, and he was talking to somebody else, and I didn't know who it was, and I was kind of waiting, like obviously waiting, like next to Jeffrey, so when you had a minute you could talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Oh, hey, Bri, do you know Keith?" He's like, "Oh, hey, Bri, how you doing, man?" I'm like, "Hi." And I look, I'm like, "Oh shit, it's Keith Shockley, isn't it?"
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's that kind of stuff that happens, but it's not like, a big draw, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't seen that be a huge draw. I mean, it is people line up to get the picture taken. There's no question about it.
Right. It's cooler when it happens organically, though, when they just kind of come to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that guy was, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it does happen more often than you think, I believe, because there are mobile DJs out there who were recording artists at one time or had a hit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're there. We just aren't aware of them. So I think it's more interesting if they come into a keynote, telling
kind of their path to getting where they are today.
Right. Like Richard Blade did that at one of Drax's shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was cool. That. He wasn't performing, but he did a keynote, and he talked about, him getting into the business, and he is a mobile DJ. He's a radio DJ. was all relevant. That was neat. It was interesting to see. I think a lot more interesting than just watching somebody perform over a backing track, don't you?
Yeah, that's I yeah. I've never really understood that, because it's like, yeah, I mean, it's neat to see, but if I really want to see a show like that, I can go see how many any other shows in Vegas and see exactly, and it'll be more than like a 10-minute show.
Potawatomi casinos were like 5 minutes away. They're always doing that kind of stuff at Northern Lights Theater. I can go there and see that anytime.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I feel you, but I don't know that it matters that much.
And
Unless it's really good, unless there's just this opportunity that pops up, and even at that point, at what capacity do you bring in this celebrity?
mm-hmm.
Do you bring him in as a performer? Or do you bring him in as a keynote? I think it's cool to bring him in as a keynote, or just to show up and say hello. That might be cool, but just to organize a whole event around them is a little odd, I think.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just you can see from the shows where they have done that, that you just don't have the attendance at those types of events that they would like.
I was over the moon to meet Grandmaster Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that guy, that was like somebody who I've admired since I was 12 years old. I mean, just as a performer and as an artist, and he's still my favorite turntablist, like, of all time. He invented this shit. He's
Mm-hmm.
really good. But I don't know. Who you gonna bring in?
Yeah. And it depends on you, as Jimmy pointed out, that yes, I'm not a turntablist, so for me, a lot of that is not interesting. But then we look at
I don't know that it's a draw, though. It's a good question. I don't think it is.
When it comes to people who are buying passes, the people who buy the passes aren't the ones who are turntable. Yeah, some are. There's a couple or a few, but I think the percentages are so low. The people who are buying
It feels like
passes,
a bonus.
Yeah,
is what it feels like. I still remember this. I was at NAMM one year, and Sparky introduced me to Skilo,
mm-hmm.
who I think lives in Riverside or something. He was really nice, and we went outside and we talked for a while, got our picture taken or whatever. But we got to know each other. Really nice guy. And they were going to do, in like 2 weeks, they were, Skilo and Paperboy and Digital Underground were doing this showcase for ADJ at Mobile Beat. And I went into the rehearsal, and he grabbed me and he said, "Hey, Brian, I want to edit down my track. It's really long, but they only want about 10 minutes from me, but I got like a 30-minute thing here. Do you have anything on site where you can cut my track for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on back to my room." So we go back to the room, right? And Blanca's there. And Blanca had told me before, I don't ever meet celebrities when I go to the show. I want to meet somebody famous when I come to the show.
Sure.
So we go into the room, and she's there. And I'm like, "Blanca, you know who this is?" She's like, "No." I said, "This is Skilo. You know the guy who did I Wish?" She's like, "I'm hungry. When are we going to go eat?" Like, she was so unimpressed. She didn't care. Like, she thought she cared, but then she didn't care.
Yeah.
He's in our hotel room. She does not care. Like, whatever, guys. When are you going to be done? Because I'm hungry.
It's time to eat.
Yeah. So I don't know how important it really is to people, even no matter what they say.
So moving on from our evening kind of more of a chill, relaxed event, background
I like
music.
it.
I do too. I mean, that's kind of, I think, the vision we with Howie and the guys were bringing to life at the Irish pub.
Very much.
And when we were
Very
outside, it really was able to fit. Inside, it was just a little bit of crowded situation. But
Yeah.
so moving into the education during the day, conventions have typically had an education track, and of course they've had their exhibit hall track. But let's just, for people to get something out of their investment to go. I'm not going to say seminars are the way, but for people to get value enough to say, you know what, it was a good trip. I feel like I got my money's worth out of the trip. What would that take?
I think it's a tough call because everyone learns different. So I think you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're structuring an event like this. Like, for instance, I don't do well. I didn't do well in school. School was not structured well for me. I did better when it was a more free form thing and I could move around and do what I wanted to do. I didn't want to feel like I I don't like going, and I've been to them. I don't like going to events where I feel trapped in a space and I can't leave it.
Sure.
It feels like classroom to me, and I don't like that. Now, other people love classroom.
Very
Like
much
they
so.
can't get enough of it, and they like the structure, and that resonates with them. So yeah, I think that's a tough thing for me to even answer, to tackle.
Yeah, I think
Depends
that.
on who you are.
Yeah, I think that you make a really good point because with the learning styles and such, because you know, as you have different children, you see how they each learn and they pick things up differently, and some have to have that sitting down and writing it out, hearing it and writing it out, and it sticks. And some can watch it and they got it, and some learn whilst, as you say, moving in essence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's. I think you've got closed campus high schools and you have open campus high schools, and I've been to both, and I really prefer the open campus. I can skip class if I feel like it, and that's okay. I don't want to feel like I have to be there. So I don't know. I mean, you can't be everything to everybody, but it would be nice if there was some. I guess going back to elementary school, how cool was recess, man? Where you had this like time designated to just go blow off steam and break away and just go do something free for 'em. Maybe you went on the seesaw, maybe you read a book, maybe you played ball, maybe you had a snack or whatever. Just these little times where you could just kind of wing it, and maybe that's when you talk to somebody. Maybe that's when you meet somebody. If it's this, rigid structure, that's always what rigid structure freaks me out. But some people respond well to it, so I'm probably not the guy to talk about that because I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is to do to make everybody happy.
And I think probably the point of this part of it is that there isn't one single right answer in that, because just in our group of friends here who are with us tonight, which thank you guys for being with. We got a lot of folks with us again tonight. I know 6 or 7 different learning styles just in our circle of friends, and how each one of them does that learns. One of our friends here learns the best by teaching. If they need to learn a topic, they would be best to tell them that you have to teach the topic, and then they will learn the topic.
Do you know what I have never seen at a DJ meet, except the one that I put on myself with Jonathan in 2008? I've never seen a loose, free-form, hands-on workshop. I've never seen it. Can you imagine walking into a room, and it's not a lecture happening, but it's a lighting professional or a sound professional or whatever there, and you say to them, you know what? I struggle so much with, I don't know, DMX or sound reinforcement or whatever the case might be. They could say to you, well, which part are you having a hard time with? And then you could say, well, primarily how to tune a room. Well, here, let me show you some tricks.
Sure.
It would take this individual time to help you. Show you some things about the mixing board maybe you didn't know, or take the time to show you some things about the speakers or speaker placement, and just explain things to you maybe in layman's terms and not something that you would necessarily get from a book. And you can ask those questions that you never felt like someone was answering for you. That would be neat. I think. I don't know how you do it, but I think that would be really valuable, just to have this open workshop.
I think,
and you could,
yeah. Well, I definitely think you're onto something there, because the audio symposium and the lighting symposium that happens in Burnsville coming up here in April of next year, which sold out within hours of announcing their tickets. That's what that is. But you're also paying a premium price for it. I think it's $600 for a ticket, for one of the 2 tickets. People are seeing the value of what you're just describing there, to be able to go in there and in that case it's in a small group setting, but there's a nationally touring audio person. And yes, Ben Stowe is one of those people who is there.
Right.
But I mean, he's got friends of his that are coming in there, or Evie's got some specialists who are even above Ben's pay grade when it comes to this kind of stuff. And they, oh yeah, I get feedback on my microphone. Well, let me show you 10 ways to deal with that. And that's,
Right.
I think
I'm almost thinking of it as the old days. And I know you remember this, John, when you could walk into some kind of pro audio store and you could go to a salesperson and you could say, I need to do this.
Yeah.
What do you have here that I could buy to do it? And they would sell you something, but they're not selling you anything in this case. What they're doing is you're going in and saying, look, I've bought Serato DJ and I don't know how to do this and this in Serato DJ. Is there someone here who does? And you go, oh yeah, Bob, you're the Serato guy. Could you help out this person here?
Mm-hmm.
And then while they're doing that, there could be 5 or 6 other people that walk into the room that find that interesting, and they can watch that too. It's not just a one-on-one. It could be one-on-one, of course, but you can have a group who wants to know about these things, and you can show it and demonstrate it. I don't know. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Day Night DJ says 15 minutes per person with Ben Stowe. I don't think there should be a time limit on it. I mean, you get it until you get it. And maybe you say, and I know how I would act, John. If I went into a room and I told somebody that I needed help with something, after about 20, 30 minutes of them helping me, I might say, you know what? I need a break. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Because I need a break.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll come back. I want to know more. Can we do more in a half hour? Yeah, cool, whatever. I don't know. I like that loose kind of fluid thing better than rigid structure. But I'm weird. I don't know if everyone feels that way.
And I think last year with specifically Mike Walter, well, there was mixing classes going out upstairs, and they were kind of a walk-in and experience. You could come in there and say, hey, I needed some help or I had questions. And it was interesting because there was Mike Walter, who was somewhat organized, or I shouldn't say, it was somewhat structured. There we go.
Yeah.
He had people coming in. He would be like, okay, who? And they would make an announcement, and then he would critique and suggest, and then they would do it again. And he was basically walking them through some MC skills, and people were coming and going throughout the whole process. The part about that where I was headed, this is, it was a great experience, and it was that hands-on experience, but yet a lot of people just didn't, walked right by.
Yeah.
People who probably had questions that the mixing rooms could have helped. There was, I believe, a virtual DJ in Serato, whatever it was, I don't know.
Right.
But there were people who are competent and skilled in that area. Now, was it a case of they didn't know that this existed, or was it a case of
I didn't know about it?
Yeah, that they were like, oh, I know more than they do. I just heard that person who was up on stage with the microphone, and he was horrible. So I'm better than that. So I'm not going to learn anything. I'm going to go
bother. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even. Bother.
What if you made this kind of a thing? I mean, it's like anything else. It's like have you ever been to a wedding and people keep coming up to you and saying, "Hey, could you say something about the photo booth out in the hallway?" Mm-hmm. Nobody knows it's there.
Yeah.
Not that they don't want to get their pictures taken, but it hasn't been marketed properly.
Nobody knows.
I mean, maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah, very possible.
If you make it more of a upstairs down the hall kind of thing, yeah, you're not going to just walk past that. If it's like part of the thing, it's like, this is a part of what we're doing here, that might be a little more well received, or might be utilized more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, because
I'm spitballing.
Well, sometimes we assume that everybody knows what we know when it comes to these events. That, doesn't everybody know that there's a 2:00 session that's going on over in that room? I mean, it's on a schedule. Everyone should know that.
Well, who
not
cares?
Really. Sometimes,
and if you have a more intimate event, it's going to be a lot easier to share this information.
Oh yeah, to get that across.
With everyone there. When you've got hundreds of people somewhere and they're all scattered to the wind, it's very difficult to try to tell everybody something, once the event's rolling.
That it is, and we've experienced that numerous times when there's going to be a schedule change because so and so, a flight, was it 2 or 3 years ago, there was many flights from the East Coast were delayed, so there were speakers who couldn't get out until.
Remember that?
Yeah, and that they were like trying to make changes, and people were like, Where are they? They're supposed to be on stage, and this person's on stage. Well, did you not pay attention, or did you not hear? Because they've been talking about it between every session so far.
Yeah.
I'm just my plans can't be screwed up. My schedule's
Maybe
important.
you do something that resembles. I mean, because I think there, if there are people that are there specifically for like a more of a classroom setting, and they want that lecture style presentation from a seminar, I mean, that's not a bad thing to offer. Like, just hypothetically speaking, what if there were two rooms? What if there was like the room where every hour on the hour a thing happened, and then there was the room next to it that was free form, fluid, kind of whatever you want to do there, with whoever happens to be there to help. And maybe it's a situation where we've got like 3 or 4 designated people in there to help, and then other people just happen to jump in with expertise here and there and help as well. DJs helping DJs. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool utopian concept. Wish I'd have thought of it.
Yeah, gosh, that sounds so cool. Wonder why no one's ever done that. I'm just checking the chat room here. So
Right on. Yeah, me too. It's kind of reading what Joe's writing.
yeah,
Joe's just talking about what a cool guy I am, and I appreciate that, Joe. Yeah. Super Rock and DJ Smash likes the idea too. Brian is a dumbass. I'm just spitballing here.
yeah, we're just throwing ideas out and
they're just ideas. Nothing's written in stone. But I think it would be really interesting, and I hate to use that word over and over again today, but it would be to actually do something different, because every single event for DJs that comes up, they all say the same thing. Oh, this is going to be different because it's like this, and this. It's the same thing, just shuffled a little different. How about something really different? How about something really weird and out there, where it's almost like a retreat, if you will. You know? I like that.
yeah, lots of possibilities, lots of ideas.
What else is on your bullet points there?
Well, that was pretty much what I wanted to just kind of go through and talk a little bit about that. And really, one of the things I wanted to kind of get across for the people who are out there is that everybody thinks they've got the right answer when it comes to these trade shows that are out there, whether it's ours that we're doing in February, the Mobile Beat one, the DJ Expo one, the Mobile DJ meetup. And yet here, Brian and I have been going to these things for a long time. And you would think that, with the 50, between the two of us, probably 50 or more shows we've been to, we'd be able to give you some definitive answers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's everybody's got their own likes and dislikes, and different things resonate with different people. And I guess I always try to keep that in mind. I mean, you do too, John. I mean, we're not here to tell everybody what to do. We're here to offer suggestions and share ideas. Not here to tell you you're stupid if you don't do the things we suggest. So I'm just thinking about, I don't know, things that I might like, and maybe someone else would too. And if not, that's fine. But they're just ideas. And I'm open to hear everyone's ideas. And I'd like to also know what other people find valuable and how other people feel like they can get the most out of an event like this. Even if it doesn't particularly work for me, I want to know.
Yeah.
And I like to help make it happen.
Yeah, because ultimately that's what we're after is so people get the most out of it. It is a positive experience. It's something that will help them grow and basically put food on the table for their family in a more productive way. Is ultimately what all these things we're doing. The shows we do on Tuesday nights, any of the stuff we do on our channels. That's what it's all about. Is trying to help people do that. And sometimes we hit, sometimes we don't. But it isn't for lack of trying.
Try.
Yeah, we're trying.
We're trying. Yeah.
As Jimmy just pointed out, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be doing a talk for the photo booth on our PBN TV channel, and we're going to be talking about the whole photo booth and protecting your business and such, which is similar, somewhat related to the DJ side of it, because a lot of us have our DJ gear and DJ insurance and the different parts of it that protect the DJ side. Well, we're going to talk photo booth tomorrow night on our sister channel, PBNTV. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern time, Howie and Jimmy are going to be coming to us live. And they're going to, Jimmy, did you have a topic? I don't know if I haven't seen a topic. So they're going to do a topic for about 20 minutes. And then after that, they're going to open up the room so everyone can jump in and do a late night DJ hangout. So that will be tomorrow night on the channel. And then Brian, next Tuesday, I won't be here with you and Ben. You guys are going to be, and Ben is going to be coming to you from Arkansas next Tuesday night.
Nice.
So he may have a guest with him, and you guys can riff and go for a while. So
right on.
Ben's already he's pretty excited about it already. So that generally means he's got some ideas and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben and I have talked about just going back and forth on things before, and I think we can probably do that without scripting it.
Yeah, I doubt it very highly.
Translate Ben into English for everyone else.
Yeah, Ben, what are you doing down there? Well, we're taking our flux capacitor and we're installing it in our gigawatt over here on the wall, and then we're going to be powering over here. These Hyman bankers are back there, and it's going to be great.
What he said was he's going to plug it in.
Yeah, he's going to plug it in, and the speakers are going to work.
And it's going to work. Yeah,
that's what he just said.
What Ben meant was, don't do that.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah, don't.
It's good stuff. Again, everyone learns different, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So again, we're going to wrap things up for tonight. Again, the photo booth event the photo booth show, we're going to be co-locating a DJNTV event with that in February. You can go out to DJNTV.com. And on Disc Jockey News or DJNTV, there's a link there that has the full schedule of the speakers who are going to be there in the main seminar room. Now, there are going to be other rooms going on at the same time, which some of the things you've heard tonight are going to be part of that. Unbeknownst to Brian, he described one of our rooms very well tonight. But then again, Brian and I have talked about this for the last couple of years off and on. But yes, go out there, discjockeynews.com, and you can click on the Disc Jockey News DJ Convention 2020, and you'll be able to find out more information on what we've got going on. And then tomorrow night, I'll see you then. And then next Tuesday, Brian and Ben will be back for a memorable show.
For something.
For something.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Thank you guys for being with us. We'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.